Right, he's back already, Tom, back on the channel, as you would have seen him in the Mizuno video, which actually didn't do very well, so go and watch the Mizuno JPX 925 review video we did, because it did absolutely shockingly badly, so go and have a watch. Right, but he's back for a driver fitting. So, Tom, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, apologies about the Mizuno video.
Oh, it was a good video.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty good, but yeah, let's hope people will enjoy watching me hit driver.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens, eh?
So going to be a driver fitting.
Yep.
So you were fitted for that driver, but not sure that it's completely right.
Yes, yeah. So I was fitted, at one of your sort of big stores in the UK. I've just found it hard work.
Yeah.
In all honesty, so looking for something to just maybe swing a bit easier and just get a bit more repeatable. I get the odd good one, but I find it hard work.
Yeah. So I would have put the specs up on the screen then when Tom was talking about what driver he's got. So it's the TSR2 9° A1, so standard off, standard lie, standard weight, 10C1K black, 65 stiff, so pretty heavy, pretty stout, standard length as well, so 45.5, so pretty long, heavy, stiff, long, swing weight D5, just, yeah, a lot of work, right?
Feels like hard work, yeah. It feels like I'm swinging a sledgehammer, especially compared to how I've got the rest of my set up, really. So, yeah.
So, bad ones?
I've got a couple really. So I tend to hit this head, for whatever reason, I tend to hit this setup high on the face. So out on the course, I see a lot of balls that kind of dip out the air. So I feel like I'm fighting a bit of low spin.
Yes, okay.
So they come out low left and kind of knuckly. And when I say low, I mean head height low. Right. Really struggle to launch it. Okay. And you know, I feel like I've really got to hit like a purposeful cut to make it work. That's
what is your shot shape?
I do like to see a little fade. If I could really choose my numbers, I'd be a couple from the outside, face, matching that, maybe one or two open, and just hit a little baby cut. Okay. I do feel more comfortable controlling face when I'm hitting a cut.
Okay. And is the bad one like that dippy left one, and not the high slicey right?
Yeah, I to be honest, I've probably got both in the bag, but yeah, I'm more on course. I more see low left pull, which is maybe where I think I'm hitting it too high on the face, no spin, and I'm probably squaring the face to the path, but with no loft and no spin, and it just comes out low left.
Dippy left one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's hit a few with this, get a baseline, see what's going on, and we'll go from there.
No worries. Let's do it.
Our magic.
And then we start with a little high right.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that, to be fair, I've got that one in the bag, so that is in there. But even that, look, that's spinning low.
Yeah, I was going to say it's high, yeah. So that's basically what you mentioned anyway, wasn't it? Like high toe, which is obviously a very low spin part of the face. 1800 backspin. Sounded a bit better.
Yeah.
A little leaky, but...
Yeah, I'd say I do see that one on the course, but that's kind of like a first tee, not warm, not comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see that one. But I think when I start warming up and releasing the club and squaring the face, I don't really see that.
So you're not as worried about that shot on course?
No.
Okay. There we go, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty good flight for me. If I could...
it's really good.
If I could bag those numbers, I think I'd be more than happy hitting that on the course. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
It's great numbers. I mean, you tend to live high in the face, like you said. Might be an interesting little test to tee it lower, because I can guarantee you straight away we'll have about 40 comments of people saying, why don't you just tee it lower?
Fine, we'll do that then. We will give that a try. It's funny because all my friends I play with say, tee it higher.
And I'm like, what, because you kind of hit it low?
Yeah.
It looks like,
Yeah, and I keep saying, no, honestly, I need to be lower if anything. But yeah, it's interesting.
Strike, yeah. That's
agreed.
a really interesting one on course. A lot of people think that they hit it either too high or too low, and it's just spin.
Right? It is, yeah.
But that's a really good one. 248 carry, 274 total, 16 launch, 2-1 backspin, fractionally high on the face, so the efficiency was good but not great. I think one of the biggest things for you is going to be trying to dial strike as much as possible, isn't it? Because you live a bit high toe. That's where you get them low spin dippy ones come from. So that's going to be a massive part of it for you, really. I'll tell you what, all three of those have been a very similar height. Grab lower tee, grab that number 5 quickly, and let's just hit a couple.
Yep. Cool.
So that's just the tee height down.
Cool. So it could be worth mentioning as well. So those numbers there are probably what sold me the driver, because I know I can get that with that setup from time to time, but I feel like that's a lot of hard work to get that, and I know there's a lot of bad ones in there as well.
In terms of like high launch, low spin, obviously looks like it bombs and goes miles, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. So like, if I hit that one, you know, in the fitting when I got this club, I was like, oh yeah, that's brilliant. But if I hit that 1 in 7, I'm in trouble when I'm trying to score on a golf course. So I probably want something that gives me a little bit more, like I'm not living on the edge.
Protection, yeah.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
Cool.
Low spin is dangerous.
Yeah, see, that's, so do you know what's really funny? So I'm stood over that with a lower tee.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, hang on, I've just drop kicked 3 and hit 1 good one. Why am I going to?
Well, I'm quite glad you did that.
Yeah.
We'll leave that in because honestly, I see that so often in fittings.
Yeah.
People drop the tee height with people that hit it high on the face.
Yeah.
You adjust, you're moving your low point down. You're trying to find the strike.
Not making that any better.
No, exactly.
Because my bad one is to still drop kick it. I'm hitting it high on the face because I'm getting the low point too low.
Yeah. I don't think the tee height's wrong. I just think the setup's wrong.
Yes,
tee height rarely changes strike. Yeah, even that was teed a lot lower, and you still did. If anything, you hit it higher on the face.
Still high on the face.
Yeah, that was really high. Now you're just contacting the ground.
It's a very strange one, isn't it? Because I do feel like.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've played around enough with this setup. And I've tried to hit it lower on the face.
Yeah.
And if you ask the people I play with, I tee it very low when I'm on the course because I constantly am trying to hit it in what feels to me the lower, spinnier part of the face, so I get some flight. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
I still hit it high, and then because I've taken the tee height down, it doesn't get a high, you know, like maybe a high-low spinner. It just gets a low-low spinner, and then it
dives.
Yeah, it does that. That's exactly what I see on the course. It's quite nice to see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I'm glad we kind of did that because that's exactly what I see in fittings. Whereas I've had this loads of times in fits or like videos that I've done for YouTube, and then you get so many comments about tee height, and a lot of the time I will change tee height in fits if I see a specific strike.
Yep.
Just to try it. It very rarely works. Very rarely works. People find the strike where they want to do it, and like you just did, you adjusted, and now you're just decking it.
Yeah,
it's not good for anybody.
It's exactly
so we need a setup that's going to help you find strike rather than pissing around with tee height. All right, let's go back to your tee height, and then let's just hit a couple more, and then we'll get into testing some stuff.
I've absolutely ripped that, to be fair.
I still think it was slightly high on the face, and it looks very low spin. But again, the fact that you typically hit it a little bit high toe, like you like living in that area, that's a very low spin part of the head. So you're right, it's very dangerous, especially if you struggle with that left miss. Yeah. That just brings that shot into play so much more and so much worse. So even that one, 13.5 launch, 1900 backspin, which for you, a good delivery, bit out twin, slightly open, fractionally high in the toe, but not bad for you. It's pretty good. And yeah, it's just too low spin. As soon as that creeps 3-4 mil more into that high toe, you're just getting those divers, which, yeah, no good.
It's like you're living on a knife edge, isn't it? Like, I know that feels like a good one because I see it, the ball flight looks good, you know, it's carrying that bunker, brilliant. But I know, like you said, if I get that face slightly closed, that's dipping. If I get that slightly higher, it's dipping, and that's the one that then is in Bernard's house.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Bernard.
Yeah.
Right,
sorry,
okay.
Bernard.
Let's have a little play.
Cool.
You said that felt lighter in the hand.
Yes. Yeah. I immediately sort of give it the waggle test. Feels a bit lighter.
Feel a bit softer. Just feel a bit more.
Yeah, definitely feels a little bit more.
Yeah, so
thick in the bottom for sure.
So you've got 10K, ping 10K, 10.5, turned down to 9.5.
Cool.
Mitsubishi C6 Onyx. I think the stiffest out there in all honesty. That's their counterbalance one, the C6 Onyx, 50 stiff, 45 playing length. And I've put a slightly lighter head weight in that than ping standard.
Okay.
It's still a little heavy, so I brought it down to D2. So you've got 45-inch playing length at D2, which is a bit more, I think, normal, a bit better than most people. So let's have a hit, see what happens.
Cool, let's do it.
That would be an interesting one to see. That's your standard high toe, right?
I've hit that high on the face for sure, yeah.
Be really interested to see the numbers. Again, it's not gone miles, but I don't hate that result. It's not the best strike, is it, really?
It's a pretty wild strike, that, yeah.
But again, you hit that on course, I'm not upset with that. 15 yards offline. All right, it's only gone 235, but you're in the middle of the fairway.
Yes.
And we kind of were just having this conversation a second ago off camera. I said to you, I probably want to almost lose you a little bit of distance, which, again, no one really wants to lose distance, but because your miss is high toe and you can get that left one, that's a low spin miss. So I almost want to start at a point of higher spin to give you a little bit more kind of leeway on your bad ones, which means the best ones might not go as far, but your bad ones will be better. Do you know what I mean? Reduce
Absolutely
miss.
makes sense. Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Close.
Better.
That's close.
I think it's actually just spinning a lot more than I thought it was going to.
It is, yeah.
But again, kind of going to the ping head, because if there is a head that generally is going to help bring strike down, just like that, it's the ping.
Yeah.
The 10K. I mean, that was a great strike. And okay, the face was a little bit too open relative to the path. So if we're 4 out to him, we probably want it 1.5 open, not 3.5, which will add launch and add spin, but that is more launch and spin than I would expect on that shot. So, which says to me, we could probably go down in loft in that head.
Okay.
To be honest.
Cool. Yeah, no worries.
I mean, how does the weight feel to swing? How does the shaft feel to swing straight away?
Yeah, honestly, it feels such easier work.
You feel too soft or not?
No, not really. I like a bit of kick in the shaft. I definitely feel the club kicking.
Yeah.
Definitely. But for me, it's more like I feel like I can get the club out in front of me in the downswing with this weight, whereas it doesn't feel like it's getting stuck behind me.
Okay.
Which for me gives me the confidence then to really turn and release it. I think sometimes if it's getting a bit behind me, I'm sort of doing all sorts of things to try and then rescue it. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. Hit one more and then we'll change it. Still a little high on it.
That's a shame because
turned it a little bit. I don't hate it.
That's the one I'm sort of used to seeing that coming back a little bit, and that would have been pretty functional, I think. But
still a bit high. Okay, let me just make a quick change there.
Yep.
So this is still the 10K. 9 degree just set at 9 degree. I've gone to this stock Alta CB 55 stiff, 44.75 playing length. It's basically an inch short of what their normal standard would pretty much be. Now I don't have to reduce head weight, standard 28 head weight in there, and that's still swing weight in at D2. So 44.75 D2, bit of extra head weight, which I think might help bring the strike down because that shaft is so counterbalanced. The swing rate's still good. So
cool.
Let's hit you with this. I mean, it's a great drive.
I'll take that. It definitely feels like a weaker flight than the Titleist for whatever reason. Definitely feels a little bit weaker.
I wouldn't say it's a weaker flight. I'd say the one thing that stands out there to me is swing speed, which I see with pings in every fit.
Interesting.
Swing speed drops all the time. The heads are just not, well, in my opinion, obviously they're a little bit heavier, but B, I don't think they're aerodynamic at all. So if we look, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it'd be interesting to get a few more. It could just be that we've been chatting for a few minutes. But that was 95 with the last shaft, 98, 98, 98. With your Titleist, we were around 100, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of, that's a complete misread. And that I don't think we hit particularly well. So 99, 90, 100, 100, 99, 100.
About 100 is where I generally would see myself when I'm practicing. And
again, because the head weight's gone back up and the shaft is fractionally short. I mean, I don't think that the shaft link's going to be making any difference there, but could be a head weight. Again, the strike didn't sound your best, but absolutely take the result.
Yeah.
Fractionally high in that toe. Good delivery. Again, maybe the face fractionally too open, but not bad at all. Fade. It's coming. Come on. Perfect for this hole.
That's the flight actually that I really would like to see, because I do like a little pull fade. It is kind of how I play.
Yep.
Everything starting left and coming back.
And that's perfect. You know? So you did exactly that. Pull fade back to 5 yards left of target. Perfect. Club speed up there at 99. 143 efficiency. 13 launch. 2 backspin. Again, that backspin's low, isn't it? It's really different because you can almost go the 10.5 that we started off with. I thought straight in my head, I thought 10.5 down to 9.5, that'd be quite good. Launching and spinning lows. In fairness, if you hit that shot with it, it would have been better, I think.
I think so too, yeah.
Like even on the straight ones, spinning over 3, and there's so much difference between these 9, like a 9 and a 10.5. Even if you get 10.5 and turn it down to like 9.5, 9, it doesn't perform anywhere near like a 9 at 9.
Yeah.
Not even close. So wasn't your best, but
yeah, that's very representative of what I can do though. So I think that's a good one to.
yes,
You know what I mean? Like I'm not always going to hit my, square face.
it's safe, isn't it? And that's the thing with that. I mean, there's a lot there that are okay. We pulled one, but that's straight, and those two probably right side of the fairway, and that's probably left rough. So they're all safe.
And going back to my original sort of high rights with my own setup, I feel like they feel like similar swings, but I feel like on those, the club was so much more behind me. Maybe that is a bit of a tendency of mine to get that kind of underneath and stuck. That's hitting fairway. The other ones weren't.
Well, I just think for you, I think you almost, because you get a bit out to in on it and you get a bit that way, I think that, like, you're right. I wouldn't say the club's trapped, but I would say it's lagging behind you.
Yeah.
You just can't square it. So even that being shorter, being lighter, being more counterbalanced, pins generally a little bit easier to square anyway, a little bit more like left-sided heads. It's going to give you that fraction of a second more to square it up, and then all of a sudden it's ending up 23 yards right, which is probably in right rough, versus 40 yards right dead. Yeah, again, that's your bit of a wipey high right, isn't it? But again, it's safe. It's safe. Okay, let me just swap that over. But if I was in a normal fit, I probably wouldn't do this. I'd probably move to a different combo. But I'm just intrigued to see. So that's the same setup, same head 10K. It's just a 10.5 turned down to 9 rather than a 9 set at 9. And I think why you're struggling with a couple of high rights. So I don't love the idea of having a face set open for you, to be honest. But it would just be interesting to see what this does. Sounded good. More forward fly, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
So that says to me it's probably struck in the better part of the head, lower part of the head. Yep, more on the equator. 13 launch, 2.6 spin. Okay.
I'm liking that I've hit that what felt to me slightly heely and the spin hasn't kicked up. It was still a nice forward flight, which I quite like that.
Yeah, 2.670. So yeah, 2.6, 2.7 spins. Not terrible at all.
Yeah.
Again, definitely lower in the face, wasn't it? Definitely strike on this is finding more nearer to centre, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like I'm not having to work as hard to get the strike lower down the face. So maybe I just need to then be a bit more confident then in the start line. There we go, mate.
Feel better, did it?
Yeah, face felt better, but then that was...
Again, I mean, it's not getting anywhere, is it?
Surprised that didn't do better than that, because I absolutely nutted that. It's just...
Yeah, exactly right. And this is what I was saying earlier between, so that's that was a good strike. Like I say, you're striking this, arguably, you are striking this the best out of anything we've had so far. And yeah, 16 launch, 3-1, it just spins way too much. So it's almost like the 9 at 9 doesn't really work, and the 10.5 turned down doesn't really work. Although I like the head for you, I just think we'd struggle to actually find the perfect setup that works, to be honest. Right. So, good thing is we've got loads more options. So
let's do it.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, straight away high.
Yeah, your low point is just so much lower with the Titleist. It's like you're just decking it almost. You just hit it high.
It's high on the face. I feel like that's like a good high though, because
But again, we're going back towards your setup where it's
doing the same thing, isn't it?
The distance isn't comparable, but in terms of that, just goes so much longer. But it's just so much more dangerous. We've already seen that with one that went left and dived left with the low spin.
Yeah.
Again, it's high on the face consistently, which I don't like, and it's just getting high launch, low spin, which are bombers. And you look at the distance and you go, that's great. The great ones will be great, the bad ones will be awful, and that's not what we want. Little bit of a high right, but it's not awful.
It's kind of the shot I've got in the bag, isn't it? From time to time, that is the shot.
Better strike. Gets borderline, 31 yards right. I mean, some holes you might go with it, some you might not. Sounded good, mate.
It's a much better strike.
Can get a little leaky, but it's not. Certainly not a disaster.
But that's not high, so I'm just focusing so much now on not hitting it high. I sort of, I'm like,
Great strike.
I can only think about one thing at a time at the moment. It's try and get that strike down the head. So,
well, I mean, it's basically you try and thin it.
Yeah, that's
Just
the high
that one we don't like.
It's just high, isn't it?
High, low spin, kind of going left. Yeah, not liking this setup, to be honest, mate.
I think it's the high strike, but it's giving me such similar results to my setup.
Yeah.
That I'm looking at it and going, at the moment, if I had to go to the course tomorrow and play this setup or one of the pings we were trying, I'd play the ping.
Yeah.
At least I'm going to be in play.
Completely agree.
And I've got the right and the left miss with this. I feel like at least the ping was kind of more leaky right than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it was safer, wasn't it? It was safer.
Much safer.
But we might come back to that in a bit. Okay, so you don't want to know what this is, and I quite like that idea. You'll all know because we would have done the slides, so you've seen all the specs. I'm trying to meddle a little bit with this one, and I'll explain later to you what it is.
Okay,
Let's see what it does. Right in the face again, but I don't hate the result. At least it's in the fairway. High.
High. Middle, but high.
Similar.
Bit more middle strike, but
again, in all honesty, considering that face was 5 degrees open to the path, going 30 yards offline is not a disastrous result for that delivery. Sounded solid.
That was close. I feel like if I started that on the right line, that was a really nice drive.
I think the strike was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I think
felt really good.
Yeah, I mean, again, straight case, 1 was high, but 2 were a little bit more in the middle, which is great. Can you just try and release that one a little bit more?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did, because I feel like the release will help with bringing the strike down the face.
Yeah.
And also
squaring it.
Yeah.
Nice. Interested to see that one.
Just go a bit.
I'll tell you what. You threw the bunker. How did the strike feel on that one?
Yeah, that felt good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm loving the strike on this.
Yeah, it felt good. I feel like, again, I don't know, but if my feels are right, it feels shorter. So it does feel like I've got a bit more control over strike, and I don't fear the one that hits the deck.
Yes, great. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And what I did, I went short for 2 reasons. One, because of that.
Okay, so it is shorter.
That's 44.5. So I think it would just be better for that reason. And then it enabled me to add more headway. So one of the reasons why I think people strike the ping low in the head is because CG is so low and far back. That's kind of what I did with that. I just added this plus 6 gram weight into the head as well. And obviously the GT2 is at the back. So you kind of go shorter, you add more head weight in, you put it at the back, helps bring strike down a little bit.
Yep.
And potentially a little bit more lead deflection. And yeah, the strike again is much, much better, similar to the other ping. But interestingly now, again, that is still spinning at 3K. So, I mean, we could even try the 9 degree head with that setup, to be honest. It might be a bit edgy, but again, for you, I feel like your low spin just comes from strike. So if you could find strike better with a combo, you probably could play 9 degree in that head, especially with a little bit more weight at the back. So let's hit one more and then I'll pop the 9 degree on there. And it's fractionally higher on the face, wasn't it? But so I like that because it hasn't gone miles, and that sounds stupid, but like we were saying earlier with that iron fit, if you have free distances coming from somewhere, that wasn't on the face. I mean, wow.
I hit that. I felt like I buttoned that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the 4 best strikes today.
Yeah.
I think if we can, let me just get that out of your hands. Let me give you the 9 degree quickly. Cool. Cool, same setup, exactly the same, just 9 degrees set at 9 rather than 10 degrees set at 10. Let's give it a go. It's very close.
Honestly, that's so close.
Again, I don't hate that though.
No.
It still looked like a good flight. It still looked like it was spinning okay. Yeah, so even though it was a bit pulled, all right, it was fractionally high on the face, but not bad, a lot better than where we've been living. So I'm really liking, again, the strike height on this. 13 launch, 2-1 backspin, 144 efficiency. Okay, you fade that back a little bit. That launch probably comes up a fraction. The spin probably comes up a fraction, which both would be good things. And yeah, we could be in business. It's close, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like if I got the face right there, I really do feel like this is going to be that. I mean, that one with my setup or with some of the other setups, that's dipping, isn't it?
I like the shot. I don't love the strike, but
A little high again, wasn't it?
yeah. Again, I mean,
But a good one.
take that.
That's a very good high.
Yeah.
Like if I could just bag that shot and take it to the golf course, you know, 2.5 spin, 2.3 something carry.
Yeah, 230-ish carry. But I mean, ultimately, yeah, popped up a little bit. The efficiency wasn't great because of the high strike. But it's 250 down the middle. I'm okay with that. That's a bad one. That is a good bad one.
Yeah.
It's trying to come back. Again, that wasn't bad.
No.
How'd the strike feel?
Felt a little bit heely, but sort of more centre line. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, again, I do not mind that strike whatsoever. It's okay you don't get max yardage out of it. But, I mean, this is a bit of a weird hole, to be honest, doing it on. We maybe should have done it on a bit more of a straight hole. But, I mean, it's still 17 yards offline, 233 carry, 12 launch, 25 spin, 143 efficiency. Like, there's nothing terrible about that.
Yeah, I like the numbers. I like the numbers. Heely, high heel. I feel like this is so close.
Just wonder if the head weight's a little bit much.
What have we got with this now? Is this like
So I'm going from +6 to +2.
Yeah, I honestly feel the length of the shaft is helping me.
Yeah.
Just confidence-wise, and I think the look of the club's great. That feels better.
Yeah, so get
Straight
down in head weight a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it might be a touch too much. I think that's why we're getting those couple leaky rights. So going down to +2 should be interesting to see. Sounds good.
Yeah, that was good. Little Heely maybe, but
Yeah, I
that
don't mind
felt
that.
comfortable.
I mean, that strike for you, I'd much rather you live kind of there, so touching that heel, than anywhere near the high toe. That high toe is the disaster strike for you. That one there, okay, you don't get max distance out of it, but again, it's that 247, 250 down the middle of the fairway. Like, that's never killing your round. That's not hurting your score.
No,
it's fine.
No, and I feel like somebody, you know, I'm somebody who likes to hit a little fade, so I'd rather see that fade a little bit more and still catch right side of fairway, right semi, than have one that can somehow just go left out of nowhere.
Yeah,
100%. Much rather have that, because I feel like my good ones there are just going to hold their line and carry the bunker.
Yes. So that the weight feels slightly better. So
Yeah.
we've basically gone from D2 down to D0, gone from the +6 to the +2 gram weight.
Definitely feels better. It feels a little bit more comfortable to swing, and it just feels like I can get the head to come with me a bit easier. So
Yeah, good. I kind of feel like that one there, if that was with the slightly heavier head, that's going more right.
yes, I agree.
Again, that's 255 in the middle of the fairway. It's fine.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be my miss with this. It's going to be a slightly more spinny, slightly heely
Yeah.
overcut, which to me I actually really prefer because I
Yeah.
know I'm hitting fairway.
Yeah, 14 yards offline.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's a little high.
It is a little high. I mean, I love the direction. The strike probably isn't as good as the setup we had earlier, which again was probably you more than the club, if I'm completely honest. But the direction's a lot better. I mean, that's two. I mean, they would all be in the fairway.
Yes.
Okay, we
agreed.
haven't found max distance with any of them yet, because we haven't quite found the middle strike. But if you get any of those on course, none of them are a disaster.
Yeah, that's just nuts. Rubbish. Rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good comparison of all the heads on the same shaft, right? So now Darkspeed X, 9 degrees, set neutral 9 degrees, same shaft, same length. So we're just messing around with heads. I mean, it's worth a go. It's a good head, to be fair, Darkspeed.
Yeah, I like the look of it. I like the matte colour. Looks good. Looks nice down by the ball.
That was nice. Yeah. Interesting to see how there's a strike feel on that one.
Yeah, I would say that felt a little necky.
Exactly that. We've seen that with a few of these heads where you do catch it a little bit necky, so the efficiency isn't the best. But again, it's that sort of 230 carry, 250 total in the middle of the fairway. That's the best bad ones for you. It's not horrendous.
Yeah, I would.
Thing around the 230 carry, just a bit leaky. Yeah, strike was better. Again, it's not. Considering the face, it's one thing that you managed to do somehow quite well. You know, with the face 4 degrees open to a 4 left path, I mean, it's only ended up 28 right, which is not a disaster.
I think there was a compliment in this.
Somehow randomly you managed to, you know, make the end result not too bad. If I'd hit that delivery, it'd have been off the planet. That sounded nice. That, I reckon, is probably one of the better drives you've hit today. 240 carry, perfect little fade, down the centre, 263. Yes, that's probably one of the best drives you've hit today, mate, I reckon.
Yeah, if we could bottle up those numbers.
14 launch, 2.5 spin.
We'd be winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that felt good, and I do feel like this club has the potential to give me that. I feel like I've got confidence. It feels nice and easy to swing. It feels a really nice weight in the hands.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am finding strike.
Yeah.
So it's the one thing I don't have to think about is finding strike. I can just think about, you know, the other stuff.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of wayward ones in here, but I think A, you're probably getting a fraction tired now, and B, like everyone does, you're starting to think a little bit too much about swing and delivery, and then a couple of bad swings creep in. That always happens. But that's probably the best sort of numbers we've had for quite a while. Best ball. That's exactly what you want to see, really, isn't it?
Do you know what it is? As a fader with a golf ball, I mean, that if I could bottle that delivery, you know,
perfect.
I would, yeah. So close.
Again, it's not a disaster, is it?
No, not at all.
A little bit down the left. Be interested to see some of the numbers on that. Again, I mean, you're dotting strike. I kind of do like the shaft view because I think A, you like the feel of it. You know, it's light, it's softish, but it's not really soft. It's responsive. You're dotting strike. Okay, it's fractionally high on the face, but we're not living high toe, which I like. Even that one, which we held down the left side, still span at 2-1. 14 launch, 2-1 spins, great, good numbers. You know, and yeah, it's 30 yards left, so you might go. It depends what hole you're on, but it's not a dippy, divey left dead one.
I feel like if I had to, you know, if I had to run to the golf course now and take a driver, this is definitely the one I would take of the ones we've tried. Yeah.
I think over the GT2.
I did like that, but I feel we're later in the session now and I am getting a bit tired and I'm probably not putting the best swings. And I do feel like I'm getting a lot out of that for what I'm putting in.
And that's another thing with the Cobra, generally swing speed's good. You know, whereas the ping can be down, Callaway can be down, I see a lot of the times. Cobra is normally up there as one of the quickest. So it's still 99, 100 mile an hour, even though we're 70 shots in, which is great.
That's more my patented high strike, but I tell you what, it's done well.
It's really well.
Done well. It's just held its line better than some of the other high strikes, hasn't it?
I think that was, like you say, your high, slightly toey maybe. Yep. Fractionally, but again, it's not. The spin's good. It's only 17 yards offline. Again, for that, the fact that, again, the face was 3.5 degrees open, only ended up, that's fairway.
Yeah,
fairway,
it is, yeah.
250. It's great. I mean, the bad ones with this just don't seem anywhere near as bad. They're just not killing you. The spin's not dropping too low. It's not curving excessively. You know, it's really good.
Yeah.
Now that one I'm going to be really interested in.
Go on! Get up! That's really good. That felt amazing.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm really enjoying that. I feel like it's really doing what I want it to do in the sense that if I'm seeing a shot, I'm seeing where I want it to start and how much shape I really want. And I'm also seeing where I want it to miss. And it's just doing what I want it to do.
That's what you want, isn't it? Again, I mean, that's fractionally high in that toe, but I mean, it's dotting really well. That's
it is,
super consistent. And again, 15 launch, 2.4 backspin. Great numbers. 263, 5 yards offline. It's really good. Yeah, really, really like it. It's just too hot. That was hard on the face? No.
No, it felt good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of one and done with that. It just, you know, because we proved earlier, 10.5 turned down wasn't really working. The 9 degrees just too hot. I mean, that's mad. Like, that spin on that 1800 out from a decent strike.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, he squared the face off fractionally, but it's just too low, too hot. That's, yeah, the Cobra has given us much better spin numbers in the window of that.
Yeah, completely agree. And I don't think I'm going to hit a better one than that. So
no, it was solid, that good efficiency. But interesting again, see that swing speed drop back into the ping. So even though it's the same length, if anything fractionally longer, with the Cobra, you're 100, 99, 99, 99, drop to 95. It's a big drop off, isn't it? Like,
yeah, and
pings do tend to be slow.
And I don't think I can afford to give that away.
Well, that's the one thing sometimes with pings, I think they're not the longest, generally speaking. They are very stable. They are good on miss hits. They're great for giving across the face, but they're a bit slow, which a lot of people, they don't want to give up distance, right?
No.
It's just a struggle, isn't it?
Yeah, we talk about like some of the intangibles sometimes in golf, and other than saying something really useless like it's just more hard work, but that is what it is. It feels more hard work. The Cobra just felt easy.
Yeah.
And I can't tangibly put a reason on that.
No. Well, it could well be the head weight, because the head weight is quite a lot heavier in the ping than the Cobra, right? Even though the swing weights are fairly similar because of the way that the club's set up.
Exactly.
That is probably, to most people, would feel like more effort to swing.
Yes, and it certainly does. Yeah, certainly does.
Okay, cool. Right, let's leave that then, mate. That proves that point. Yeah, so we'll have one more go in this then. So back to the Vista Pro 55 stiff in the GT2 9 degree head. This is a final test. This is combo 14 we've hit so far, with changing head weights and heads and shafts, and yeah, been a good tinker.
It's immediately higher on the face again.
It's the only thing with Titleist heads, and to be honest, I do find that with them.
It's immediately higher.
I really don't hate the result.
No, it's a good result. It just, it honestly feels like I do nothing different with a swing there, but it's just got that in it.
Yeah, and it's weird with honestly, I found this even for myself sometimes with testing the Titleist when I've done tests head-to-heads. Yeah, just it's a bit easy to catch them high in the head, which for you is not what we want.
No. That was good.
Sounded nice.
Yeah, I struck that really nicely. Bit better on the face. That was good. That felt really nice.
Yeah, good. Nice. Better strike. Again, fairly similar to the Cobra numbers, in fairness, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Launch, 2.5 spin. Don't dislike that. So, I mean, the head in the combo certainly would be an option, for sure. I mean, the strike consistency from the Cobra certainly lends itself to, like, standing out.
Yeah.
And the fact that you do probably catch that a little bit hard on the head on times, again, I don't like. But again, if someone said to me, I really want to make that head work, we could try our best, you know?
Yeah.
It's an option.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I do like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. It sounds really good. But yeah, like I said, if I had to go to the golf course now and stand on the first tee and hit driver, I would definitely be taking the Cobra. It just feels like I'm going to have to do less work. I feel like I'm having to really focus on strike in order to not hit it high, and then I'm not focusing on the you know, the shot, the hand. So yeah. I feel like I wouldn't have to do that with the Cobra.
Okay, let's hit a couple more.
Yeah, if anything, it's
just
a little
neck.
It's a little neck. Not bad though.
Don't mind it.
Just didn't really. I mean, again, if we're thinking about this versus the Cobras, I mean, I'm just not dotting the strike like I was with Cobra.
No.
And as soon as I find strike, confidence builds. I start swinging it a bit quicker, and just lots of good things happen.
Well, I said to you at the beginning, that was kind of the key for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Finding strike, finding consistency. Okay, the Darkspeed was fractionally high on the face, but it wasn't bad. It was acceptable. And it was dotting, it was fairly centered, the spin numbers were good, and it was consistent. And that's all you're looking for, really, isn't it? And that gives you confidence. In a setup you've got confidence in, you're going to play better with. It's that simple. That sounded like one of the better ones with that, to be fair.
Yeah, I really,
That was really good. 3. Yeah, great.
I really wanted to give that a chance, you know, so I put a really good swing on that one.
Well, like I said, it's I do think the combo could be good for you. Again, it was fractionally high heel, but not bad. Again, 14 launch, 2.5 spin, good numbers. 239 carry, pretty solid there. Again, swing speed around that 100 mark. Again, up with the Cobra. I feel like it would be close between this and the Cobra. I think the only thing that edges it was that consistency.
Yeah.
With the Cobra, was just fractionally the strike was more consistent, and you just seem more comfortable with it. But it's not like we're getting anything more out of this. I mean, that was the best one we've hit with that so far, and that was 261. And the best with the Cobra, well, we had two. We had a 263 and a 264 with the Cobra. So if anything, we might be getting a couple of yards more out of the Cobra on good ones. And on the bad ones, I mean, I'll take one out of that because you decked it. On average, we're at 229 to 232. So 229 with that, the GT2, and then 232 with the Cobra, you know. So if we put that into the compare page, you know, I mean, the dispersion looks great there because we only hit about 3 shots with that. So it's probably not a completely representative data set there. But, you know, you can see the Cobra there. I mean, it's interesting, certainly, you know, if we were saying the Cobra is the winner, which I think it is in my opinion, and I think it is in yours too. I kind of said at the beginning that I wanted to lose you distance, purely based on the fact that, you know, with your own driver, we were getting more distance from low spin, especially when we're hitting it high toe. Low spin equals more distance, low spin equals bad misses. So we have upped the spin to a more acceptable window, but we've not lost you any carry. You know, it's carrying exactly the same on average. And the interesting thing, the spin is definitely more consistent, but that front to back, I mean, 19-yard front to back standard deviation on your driver, because, you know, you were hitting a bad one, then you were hitting a low spin bomb that went absolutely miles.
Yeah.
Like that, it's just absolutely no consistency. And the dispersion again with yours was much wider because you'd lose it high right and you'd pull it as well because it was just a bit uncontrollable in terms of the length and the swing weight. But I think just the better thing was just the strike. Okay, it was still slightly high on average with the Cobra, but it was a lot better. And it's hard, it doesn't give consistency either on that, which is difficult, but it was more consistent as well.
Yeah, and I felt like the high strikes on the Cobra did give me a little bit more protection with the spin. And for me, I think that really would give me some confidence. As soon as I start hitting those dippy ones, like you said, I can hit the longest one with my own setup, and I probably can hit the furthest out of bounds as well. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather keep the ball on the golf course, hit more fairways. You know, that's how I'm going to score.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely right, mate. So I think the consistency levels of that were just better. No low spinners, no divey, ducky hooks off the planet. So yeah, we'll get the Cobra in play. Well, actually, there's a new one just about to come out. So what we might do is we'll maybe do a head-to-head with that setup versus the new Cobra. So if you want to, you know, watch that, stay tuned for that, because that would be a good
really
video to come. So that fitted one versus the new one. And yeah, so happy with that, mate. Enjoyed it?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. And I think we got to the setup in the end. We got what we wanted. I was really looking for that kind of like 235, 240. And I know the Cobra's got that in the bank, in the fairway. I can play golf from the fairway. I don't want to be playing it from Bob's Garden.
Yeah. Exactly that, mate. Cool. Right. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that video. Stay tuned. Loads more to come. Obviously, me and Tom are going to be doing more and more. We've got all the new releases coming, all the wood releases, which is in most of them, and they're all very good. So head-to-heads, test reviews, all of that jazz is going to be coming. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.